Hello, welcome back on our channel. Today we're gonna find out some of the possibility out there, which is includes the Starship Flight 5 conclusions. The conclusions would be a negative or positive, but today we're gonna find out some negative conclusions and aspects that will prove the Starship Flight 5 will suffer some major and minor failure in a catching attempt. I will say the ascent and the descent of the both vehicles like a ship 30 and booster 12 will do as their plan, but during the catching attempt might the something should like something will gonna wrong. I'm just expecting speculation. Don't be rely on my information that I'm giving right now. Just the speculation. Just give it as a. I'm taking it as a speculation that we analyzing the data and speculating what will happen in the next in the future. So let's dive right in to know what will happen in a chopstick catching attempt when the flight 5 will occur in a reality. So the first thing that there is a three possibilities or four, like almost the four possibilities could be in our the mission. The first possibility is directly posed that the direct bump on the chopstick. The direct bump on a chopstick is the failure of the chopstick itself and the booster itself. Because when the booster is suffering and just the traveling the descent way and vertically descend to the maneuver over the chopstick, if the booster takes a little while time to hover to adjust and calibrate its the position onto a chopstick, and while it's going on that something goes wrong, and if the booster engine shut down just by some the cause or reason, then the booster definitely gonna bump onto a chopstick arm, and might it will be a not setting and sitting on that the landing rails, which would be a little minor failure for our chopstick because the some exposed extensive hardwares will be a damage when the booster bump onto a chopstick. So this issue will be arise by the booster itself because chopstick as a execution plan to do the when the chopstick will in a position when our the LD and any other the launch actor team will call out the chopstick in a position FTSF safe, and then booster is a descending, then booster descends over the chopstick and doing the maneuver to get adjust and calibrate itself. Then the possibility is on the table that booster will gonna bump onto a chopstick will leads the future major failure to the chopstick itself, not the launch pad, because launch pad will be a save little while because it will be have the high damage by the Raptor engine's shockwaves. So that's why the first possibility is on the table, the direct bump onto a chopstick. And second failure is a RTLS occurrence and error occurrence. Like if the booster has a separated from the like ship 30, and after the separation booster do the flip maneuver to get back itself to the direction to the located landing zone, but in other cases, if the booster is detected or the SpaceX detected something is not ahead well to attempt this landing, then the RTLS, the real-time launch system inside of the booster, will eliminate the landing sequence and landing maneuver. That will lead the unsuccessful landing at the our starbase, but and simultaneously the booster will change its path and trajectory towards the Gulf of Mexico, and where it will be conduct is the alternate landing. So, but that landing we have seen before, then a chopstick like a Starship Flight 4, which is not again to see. I don't want to see that, but I want to see the chopstick landing, which is a very mechanically impressive and visually very fascinating. So sci-fi look that emits. So that's why if the RTLS and the SpaceX aborts that the landing attempt to go head to a starbase, then possibility possibility is on the table. After the stage separation, when the booster was back when start up, the while the all thing goes wrong, everything will be uh, short out in the Gulf of Mexico. Either there is another way to conduct the landing. So that's why we have alternate zone, the landing zone at the Gulf of Mexico if the something is goes wrong in a system itself. And the third possibility is on the table if the chopstick task execution failure. Okay, just listen this carefully. Like the chopstick task execution failure. The chopstick task execution failure means that if the chopstick suffer the some errors in its the movement because of the high exposure of the shockwave when the our starships are taking off. So while the chopstick is making a very loud and intensive shockwave around it, so it makes like a surrounding very weaker and like shatter. So by that, in there the possibility that the chopstick over the all over the hardware that exposed already on outside, that would be a damage. There is a chance that there would be a damage by that the immersive shockwave. So if the this occurs, then possibility is on table that the chopstick will not attempt like will not execute a task that we have a plan that SpaceX have a plan to do. If the chopstick is not attempt to do and not doing this it's the own set and scheduled task, then possibilities are always on the table. The RTLS will change its mind and then send it back towards the Gulf of Mexico. That's the alternate way where we will going to launch, I mean the land. So but if in this case if the booster is heading back, heading towards the chopstick, and the rail like landing rail is not in a position, and I know they would be have these the things before the booster is coming down, so this will be not happen. But if the booster like before the stage separation, if the chopstick in this not position in the intended position, then possibility the species will abort this landing maneuver. So then let's explore the fourth one. We haven't seen the three, I think the I mean two or three. In the first wave bump to the chopstick, and the second one is the our RTLS error occurrence, and third one is the chopstick error execution like task execution failure, and fourth one is about the same the shockwave exposure. Well, that's my name. I just gave in that's I gave that name to my this the failures, the shockwave execution. Well, the shock like I mean the shockwave exposure. So the shockwave exposure means the chopstick like a Starship has a 33 Raptor engine. That engine is a two like a second version, second generation of the Raptor. So that the Raptor is capable to generate the high exposure shockwave that is enough to kills the extensive hardwares on a chopstick. In this case, if the booster is coming down over the chopstick and maneuver, then the highly exposed the plume and the thrust of the engines will explode the chopstick extensive and the already upgraded hardwares, that will lead a little failure because after the landing will be a successful, but after the landing the chopstick will not longer to in a functional mode because any damage occurred on a chopstick. So we have to bring the crane for the lift the booster to put down it on a SMT and transport module. So after the landing, after the successful landing, we will be happy, but the chopstick will be dead, completely dead. That's the dead chopstick will never able to move again because of the extensive all hardwares and software failure at the chopstick. So very damage this chopstick will bear during the landing. But for that, the SpaceX is already is in a progress to upgrade the robust and the reinforcement itself in I mean in a chopstick. They wanted to they insist the chopstick to do its the intended task as well. So that's all the things that could be wrong. This is a part one of the video. Part two will be coming out before the Starship Flight 5. So my name is Gaurav Joshi and you're watching the NASA Directory. I hope we will meet you later. The right before the chopstick. I mean Flight 5, right before the weight dress rehearsal. Bye. Well, welcome back. I just want to share you the story that could inspire you to be alone and that could brings your happiness. Because my story was about to my relate to my hobby or the interest and enthusiasm. Because of I love the space exploration. I love the depth of the universe. That these are the all things are very meaningful for me. And one day, when I was walking out and over the road, I met to the guy who was asking me that what is your happiness? Is your happiness your the girlfriend? Is your happiness your companion? It's not actually, because my happiness is not a girlfriend, is not having a companionship. Is my happiness to explore the ideas of the space exploration, see and watch the Starship launch and development every day. Those are the raw things that brings me out of the box, and I love to watch a Starship the more than I watch any other things. And I gain the many of other information from it to enhance my knowledge and skills. I love the Starship. I love the SpaceX. I love the any other space agencies and NASA who bringing this dream into reality. And one day we will inhale the oxygen on a Mars. That's my promise. And I get more happy and my dopamines get a very high peak when I have heard this sound.
Landing bay, start up the Starship.